We're starting with the JavaScript code that sets up a new Vue instance. It binds to an HTML element with the id app. The data property here is crucial because it defines an array of items that will later display as a list in our app. Each item is an object with id and name properties. You can add as many list items as you'd like in this array. The method's object holds the functions that our Vue app can execute. Here, onMove is a method that will be triggered during a list reordering action. It accepts an object with related context and dragged context, which we use to reference the items involved in the swap. We retrieve the bounding rectangle for both the element being dragged and the related element. This is how we obtain their positions on the page, which helps us determine how far we need to move each element visually to represent the reordering. We calculate the translation distance based on the positions of the elements. If the dragged element is above the related element, it needs to move down by the height of the related element, and vice versa. We use request animation frame to ensure that our changes are painted in the next frame, making the animation smooth. Here, we apply the calculated translation as a CSS transform on the related element, also specifying a half-second transition duration for the transform property. We then use another request animation frame to reset the transform after the transition completes, which gives the appearance that the element has moved to its new position without actually altering its position in the DOM. Moving to the template, we use Vue's transition group component, naming it list. This element will wrap our list items. The tag attribute tells Vue to render the group as an unordered list. We listen for the change event, which is emitted whenever items change order, and call the onMove method as our handler. Inside, we loop through items with v_for, creating a list item for each one. The styling starts with the list item class, which adds padding, background color, border, and other styles to make each list item look presentable and aligns with the draggable functionality by setting the cursor to pointer. Finally, we have the transition effects. Classes with enter active and leave active indicate what the item will animate over half a second. Meanwhile, enter and leave to classes define the start and end states of the animation, in this case, making the item fully transparent, with no height, padding or margin, effectively hiding it during the transition.